Yes, my tenant moved out just after 6 months since he moved in. And you can see now the state of the apartment after I got inside. As the contract was for 1 year, he left the 2 months deposit and additionally gifted me everything he bought for the apartment. A pretty solid lease with a total value of around $5,000, I think. The sad thing is that this is my second tenant who is lasting less than 6 months. Of course, 2 months deposit and all the stuff he bought and left for me make the bottom line look even better than my 6% net annual return expectations. But my hope was to find a long-term tenant so apartment won't require a lot of time to manage, and then scale this up to several apartments maybe. Now after 1 year, I must say that the headache of managing even one apartment is pretty big. Even during this 6 months period, my tenant had 2 times issues with the fridge, so I had to come and pick up all his groceries and put in my fridge for a night. After technician reviewed the fridge, it appeared that my tenant was putting some extra low temperature and ice covered some vital parts of the fridge. No way I would manage several tenants' issues. I had enough. I would have to hire a manager, lowering the return even more. The first mistake I made, and you shouldn't, is to accept less than a year contract requests. My first tenant took 6 months, which covered the best weather in a year in Thailand, and the monthly price I asked from him was the same as for 1 year contract. Now it's clear to me that if the contract is less than a year, the monthly price should be a lot higher than for a 1 year contract. I also renovated the apartment so it would look more cozy, and you can see it now on a video. I bought a new sofa, repainted walls, put painting on the wall and bought new beddings. Now the apartment looks much more presentable than in my part 2 video. I caught myself on a feeling that I would live here myself. Now it's beginning of December and start of high season. I got dozens of requests for short-term rent for people who came here just for winter. As I don't want to look for new tenants every 3 months, I considered 12 months contracts only. The agency found a couple of young people very fast for me. Today we signed a contract and I gave them the keys. The concerning part is that when I asked them how long they plan to stay in Thailand, they said that for a winter. I stressed that the contract is for 12 months and if they want to move out earlier, they will lose 2 months deposit. It didn't bother them at all. They replied that maybe for longer, we'll see. I have a feeling that they won't last longer than my previous tenants. So let's calculate how the return on this investment looks like after 1 year. So here is the initial calculations. You can see that we took annual income in Thai baht, converted into USD using the exchange rate at that time, which was almost 36 Thai baht per $1. We had the total cost of purchasing that apartment and the payback period, which is how many years it takes to return the purchase price fully back, was 17 years, and the annual return on that investment was 6%. So this is the table revised after 1 year. Let's look how let's look at it. So annual income is the same. It's 17,000 Thai baht multiplied by 12. The thing is that the exchange rate of Thai baht became stronger against dollar comparing to the 1 year ago. So it was almost 36 Thai baht per $1 a year ago, and now it's 34.13. So we're keeping everything same in terms of annual income in Thai baht, but in US dollars it's slightly higher. You can see it's almost $6,000 per year comparing to $5,600 at the previously calculated exchange rate. So the annual management fee grew up. Now it's 27,000. It was 22, which is almost $800. The management fee is the money the management of the condo takes for security, for parking, for repainting the walls of the building, etc., etc. So I bought the new sofa, which cost me almost $400. I paid again 1 month's fee to the agency. So the agency found the customer for me, and I paid 1 month's fee, which is 17,000 Thai baht, to the agency, which is almost $500. I repainted all walls, and I must say this almost $300 is pretty cheap. So it's materials plus work. Add in here the assumption that every year it will take around 2 weeks for me to find a new tenant, which is a deduction from our income as well. So we ended up with $3,780 of annual net income. Taking into account the purchase price didn't change. Now the new payback period is 19 years and annual return on investment is 5.2%, which obviously not as great as I was expecting. So my current strategy, I wouldn't buy more condos for rent out, but as an asset which stores value for you, it's definitely a good way to diversify your portfolio, having several apartments, several properties for living, where you can live or your family can live, or you can use it. It will stay there unless tsunami will destroy it, which I hope will not happen.